Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Gabby. Welcome to Kappa Home and Goal Detroit, our after school programming. And I am here today with an awesome project. It's kind of like a gloomy, chilly day out, so this is going to be perfect. You can do so much with this project. It's like the possibilities are so endless, and you can really kind of combine like a lot of different things, even with a lot of your art projects. So, a huge shout out to the College for Creative Studies. Without them, like, we wouldn't be here. Also to General Motors and the Community Education Commission of Detroit. They are sponsors, and definitely, like, we have all these awesome free art tutorials for you that you can kind of go and look through. Big shout out to them because, they're continuing to help support us be able to come and do this for you every Monday through Thursday. So let us get into what we're making today. I know I kind of gave you a little bit of a hint. It was kind of broad, but I'm super excited because you honestly can do so much with this, and I am super pumped. All right, so we are going to be making some really cool print making stamps. So we're making our own stamps today. So you can kind of see I used some already just because I wanted to show everyone like what's up and like what we're going to be doing. And I already have some kind of little stragglers of stuff around here, but yes, so that's what we're going to be making today. I'm really excited. Let me kind of maneuver this. Oh, lost my grip. Hold on one second. And there. Great. Just want to make sure that we're going to be able to see everything. I'm going to maybe zoom it down just a little more so we can see. Okay. So what we're going to be needing today is we're going to need some cardboard. Lots of cardboard. I love cardboard. We all have cardboard. Great for recycling into like art projects or like art materials, anything like that. So I just like ripped up a box. So you can have like, bigger sheets, but make sure you just cut them down to like a manageable size. We're going to be needing scissors today. We're going to need a hot glue gun or white glue, but hot glue, is a lot quicker to work with. Mine's already plugged in and ready and nice and hot. So if you have an adult or someone around to help you, that's awesome. I have some extra hot glue sticks. I have something that we're working on right here. That I have my table, but I also have always something that I'm working on. Next, what we need is just like a wide variety of different things, like some yarn, maybe some little beads or anything that you can find that you can possibly think about turning maybe into a stamp, and a stamp is great because, it's like a raised edge, here, like, and it's like really helpful to create like nice like prints pretty much. So if I have some yarn I brought, I have some other, string, like I have this kind of string and I have my hole puncher, just so I can use that to show you. I have this kind of ribbon. What I really like about it is that it's kind of stenciled out already, so this would make an awesome stamp. I brought some beans because I thought that would be kind of fun to maybe like glue something to make a stamp with. I also have some painting material. So I have some paint and my water cup and a paintbrush and some plain paper, just so we can kind of see how everything is going to turn out today. And that's why I'm working with a hot glue gun today, just because it's going to be a little quicker for drying time and anything like that. So you even see I have like some of these awesome little gems here, but I'm going to just put all this to the side just because we're going to be making some new stuff today. So you can kind of see already that a lot of my cardboard pieces are like a wide variety of sizes. So I already cut some to size here, but we want to create a manageable piece of like a stamp base, that's going to be easy for us to maneuver with. And, so that's why I even made some of these are a little smaller. And if you ever bought stamps or anything from the store or use them, they are just like manageable and like can fit in your hand. So I'm just gonna kind of cut this one up. So this one's a little bit square. Maybe I'm just gonna cut this into 4 pieces. So you can create as many as you want. You can maybe even plan out your ideas of what kind of stamps you're gonna be creating and using and things like that. So I'm just gonna kind of make right here maybe like 6. So I have 6 here. And we have an abundance amount of cardboard. So that's going to work. So you don't have to really worry about like if there's any stickers or anything, but I'm just going to flip these all over for us, just, in case, like that's the thing. So I really liked these little gems. We can start off with these. But you know, I want my stamps, we want them to be pretty flat. So I think I'm just going to use like the other side. You know, and what I want to do with these, and I could even actually maybe cut this down maybe in half so I can, you know, utilize both there. You know, it's cool because I like this one because it's kind of like a teardrop, right? Or like I can almost think of it as like a flower petal or something. Or, you know, I have the heart here. So I'm just going to turn them around, but I'm going to create a nice little pool of hot glue just so that I'm going to make sure that these are going to kind of stay and create like a flat surface for us. And what I want it to do is not be able to move. So I made that and put that right there. So maybe I put a little bit too much. Maybe I didn't, because I don't want any of that glue to be touched with paint when I'm making my stamp. So maybe I will even maybe cut this one in half again so I can put my little teardrops, you know, on there. And I'm going to just create another pool. Maybe not as big, not as much glue, but I'm going to put that right there and push down and let that dry. So I'm just making these pools of glue and putting my little gems on that. So I want to make sure they're going to be as flat as possible, because maybe I'll even put it down this way and flatten it a little that way. And I'm going to put them off right to the side here. Put this one a little too. Make sure it's flat because that's what we need. So it's kind of fun because we're not necessarily using the gem side, you know, but we are using the back side because that's kind of like the shape that we're maybe looking for. So next, maybe I'll take this one here and my ribbon that I use. It doesn't matter really what side, maybe just because this is kind of maybe like a velvety material, I'm going to just use the back side. So, you know, if you're using any kind of ribbon or something like that, just like be mindful of maybe like the material, just so, because if we're going to be using paints, you know, we want to be careful. So I'm just going to put some dabs of glue, kind of eyeballing maybe where this like these pieces end here, and just kind of adhere the ribbon to the cardboard. So I'm kind of going like this, pulling it, maybe flattening it out, maybe making sure that it's going to kind of flatten out. And maybe it's a little too big, a little bigger, but that's okay. But see, I glued it to the velvet side. Or not the velvet side, but okay, so that's our other stamp that we have. So if you're using ribbon or anything cool like that, like you see here in my lace one, this was great. Like I'm really excited to show you the kind of textures that it created. It's super, super pretty. But next, if you want, I really like this if you have a hole punch or something. I'm just going to create like a few holes. And what's great about this too is, you know, you can create these holes to create like a pattern, and then even use the little circles too to create like a fun stamp. So I actually have one that I already created here, and I used just a glue stick to glue these down, just because I had so many of them. But like if I were to put like a few, like, you know, kind of put my like hot glue and spread it a little bit, and kind of help do it that way, and just like add them. So this one's a little more strategic, you know, kind of placing them in different areas. But it's great because you can see how some of these are really raised up, and I think this would create a really fun effect with paint. So, you know, you can keep this and trim it down, or keep going with making some different holes and different kind of effects. But I'm just going to brush these off into my hand and put them right to the side. So yeah, that's like with the hole punch. So you can kind of see and hopefully start getting some ideas with some different things that you can create. The next thing, I really love using the hot glue gun. You can see too, I made this here with the hole punch, but with the hot glue gun, just creating these awesome raised edges and creating like these fun shapes. So maybe like I'm gonna just kind of create a triangle. Looks like I'm kind of missing a triangle in some of my examples here. So I'm just gonna create a triangle right here. So, you know, with the stamp, we just want to create these kind of protruding edges, right? And we can just kind of fill it or do something different with it, and then we can put that right off to the side to let it dry. So what's great about hot glue is that's going to take no time really to dry. Too, what would be fun, I think, with the hot glue is kind of creating these fun, you know, little rigid, just like bumps here. So just like kind of creating these fun little dots, you know, they kind of melt down into a little ball. So also you kind of see with the the hot glue, we're getting these little fun little strings. I like to call them like little spider webs, but you know, we can put that off to the side and let that dry, and then we'll be able to see what that's going to create. So, you know, whatever you're using, you know, I even have, like I said, some fun beans over here. I think that could be fun to create some nice little effects, you know, because you never know, they're all different like shapes and sizes. So I'm just going to use my hot glue and create like a little bit of maybe some zigzags or something, and just start kind of placing and putting the beans, you know, making sure they're laying pretty flat, and just maybe even taking them here, kind of creating like this fun little pile. But if you want, you know, like I said, with the dots, you can space them out, you know, really kind of think about the design, you know, you're trying to create. So I think that's a little fun with some of like the little beans. So if you have other things, that's amazing. Like, you know, there's so many things you can do and try, and like this is part of my little example that I created today, kind of to show all the awesome little effects that like all of my stamps can create and have. You know, and it's awesome too because you can add to some previous works of yours if you're thinking about that or something. But yeah, so let's test some of them out. So like I said, I have some paint off here to the side, and I have like some paper. Let me just close some of this up. And you want to make sure if you're like getting paint or anything anywhere, just to make sure you're cleaning up. So I'm just going to put all that off to the side. I have my paintbrush over here. So maybe if I want, I'm going to take maybe like this gem. So if you have paint, I have some paint, you know, you can take your paintbrush and place it right on the object here. And like your stamp, like a stamp, you know, you're just kind of using some pressure, applying that, and kind of doing that. So you can kind of start to gauge and see how much paint maybe you'll need, you know, maybe what it's really starting to look like, if you want to just dip it. Really have fun and kind of see what's going on. And I like to play with my stamps and making sure that I'm using all of the paint on there. So voila. So I created this awesome flower using that little gem that we did. I just flipped it around. You know, maybe I'll take this next one and we can let that dry even if we want to, but create like a fun like inside there for that. So that's really fun. Create a nice little flower there. And you know, next maybe we can maybe I kind of like how this is looking. My you know, I'm gonna just kind of paint some orange right onto there, and you know, just for you to see how it could kind of come out or be created as I'm just dousing, you know, and putting pressure. So if you're, you know, kind of these fun little like printmaking, you know, and so next maybe I'll need, I'm gonna take this one, maybe pull off some of the little stragglers here. So you see that I have some of that, and I'm gonna just kind of dip it in my paint so you can see how those raised edges are what has collected. So these are like a fun little way to create little fun circle dots, and you know, we're just kind of having a good time. So, you know, like I said, we can maybe take and bring something from before that we've been creating with, like a previous project or something. I'm going to take some paint, put it on my little paint palette, which is just a paper plate. But I can add and, you know, see what I want to add here to really kind of create something unique with like, you know, like a mixed media. So maybe I'll try this, put some paint around here. I'm not putting too much here. I'm just dabbing. Like I said, you can dip, use your paintbrush. That's why I gave you the option. You know, you can really have fun with that. But what's great about it is that it's just like a nice little addition, right? It's not too much, it's not too little, but I think it's just like the right amount. So I'm just kind of taking it and adding a little bit of extra elements with my stamp. And, you know, you can just put that off to the side, let it dry. You know, and maybe we can see how, you know, all these different things are going to create, you know, some different effects. But here are like our little beans, to see what kind of effects like our beans can create. So these are just kind of way more smaller little dots. I'm not putting as much pressure. I'm just lightly tapping, kind of adding some different effects here, which I kind of really like. Maybe I'll take some of my previous one, my blue. Maybe I'll use my paintbrush for this one just because I'm kind of dipping a little bit much. Oops. And kind of create it on the heart. So we got to maybe even think about if you're making them, think about the different kind of levels of height you want to kind of create with, and in making, you know, so I added just like little touches of that into there. So that's what's really fun about this. And, you know, like you see here, I used like this purple one to create these fun little lines here. And you can see how I'm adding all of that. And it's fun because you can let it dry and just continuing to add layers and layers of things. And it's, you know, so much fun. Like you can definitely do so much and really have fun with it and play around with, you know, printmaking. And, you know, you don't have to just use, you know, like blocks or clay or anything of that sort. You can use so many different objects, you know, things that you found. But I'm going to just kind of paint it all over here and add some nice little pops of yellow. So there's like a very faint triangle, right? And that's what's really great is I use all of these awesome objects that I found just around the house to create these like great little prints. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. You know, here's like another kind of roundup of all of my awesome stamps that I've created. I know I didn't make or show like, or, you know, use all of them, but, you know, that's up to you to, you know, kind of take over and show us, you know, all the different stamps that you've made. So, you know, now's our cleanup time. So if yours is hot glue, make sure you're unplugging it. If you're using paint, make sure if you got it anywhere, just to clean it up. And this is my paint palette. If you can save your paint, definitely save it. If not, you know, just throw it away. But thanks, yeah, and just wait for all of this to dry before you put them away. You can collectively have them in something, you know, to use time and time again, or just continue to make more, because, you know, you can honestly do so much with this. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciated it. You know, you can see our entire archive of all of our other art projects and art tutorials that are free on our Instagram and our YouTube, even on the Community Education of Detroit's website now as well, which is amazing. You can seriously find us all over. So yeah, thanks again. If you know, followed along or anything, you can hit us up in the comments or send it to our email, which is also in the description. Yeah, and stay tuned to hang out with Miss Van tomorrow. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.